Welcome back to another episode of Busted Bottle TX, where sometimes we just talk about Texas straight bourbon whiskey. You're probably asking yourself, why does he have these empty bottles? Um, I wanted to talk to you today about my journey with bourbon whiskey in general. So, back in, I think it was towards the end of 2013, I started getting into tastings. I was invited to a tasting, and there was a particular person that had a bottle of Garrison Brothers, and it had it sitting back on the shelf. It was like a 2014 vintage bottle, aged only 2 years at the time. And I remember asking him, hey, you know, would you mind if I try that? Sure, absolutely not. So he opened it, and I remember being just absolutely wowed by something that was aged only 2 years and tasted as good as it tasted. At that point, I was just beginning my journey, but that's really what got me started with Texas straight bourbon whiskey. It was really Garrison Brothers that I absolutely just fell in love with. And then in 2015, they had this this bottle right here, and they had it with I don't know if you can see the 2015 on there, but they had it in a gift package with two Garrison Brothers Distillery Glencairns in it. And I remember just being just so excited. I got it, and that is when they had started aging them for 3 years. After 2014, 2015 is when, for me, they really started taking off. And I just remember being absolutely wowed by it. And again, by their 2015 Cowboy version, I'll still have a couple of samples of that, but at 135 proof, I believe that was their second Cowboy, the first one being in 2013, and I have the 2017 back there. But I remember being just absolutely wowed by what they're putting out. And then 2020 hit, and they had this experimental high rye release. So about every time I go, I ask the master distiller, Thomas Todd, when are you going to be coming out with this one again? This one was aged for 5 years, I believe, in 2020, distilled and barreled in 2015, and then it came out in 2020. You want to talk about one of the absolute best Garrison Brothers bottles to date, I remember, was this one. Got Honest Todd's signature on the back of it, but I implore you to come out with this bottle again. They released only, I think, about 2,000 bottles, and that's it. You never seen it again. But I wanted to kind of share my journey with Garrison Brothers Distillery. They're doing some absolute great things. Their finished series products, oh my goodness, absolutely incredible. This was the first year that they've come out with the bottled in bond, 2026. This is a 6-year bottled in bond. Man, this is like candy in a glass. There's so many different ones. I can't tell you what my favorite one is now, because there's just too many. Then the Sonora hit, absolutely phenomenal. Let's see what else they had. Ladybird, They had the regular Ladybird, and that one is at 114 proof. And then they had several cask strength single barrel versions of the Ladybird. And the one that I got was the 135.7. They're getting ready to come out with Laguna Madre next month, which is August the 8th on Saturday. Hope to see some of you there. Right now I'm enjoying the Bottled and Bond 6-year. Again, like candy in a glass, and I'm enjoying it in the wonderful Diamas tumbler. But I wanted to share my journey and how Garrison Brothers came to be one of my absolute favorites. It started with being invited to a whiskey tasting, and I had an opportunity to taste it, and was just absolutely wowed by it. So, Garrison Brothers, if you ever watch this video, Dan Garrison, Nancy Garrison, Donna's Todd, and all the other staff, please, please, please make this one again high rye. I know you got a lot of stuff in the works, but if you can make it happen, coming from a fan like myself, and as you can see, I've got a few different offerings. Please make the high rye again. It was one of my, again, absolute favorites. So, but wanted to share my journey, and if I was to ever find some of those 2014 vintage bottles, man, I would definitely pick them up. Absolute greatness. And each one of them is unique in its own way. I remember Dan Garrison once said, consistency is boring. And that's why each expression is different. And I like that. I absolutely like that. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And tell all your friends that Busted Bottle TX knows his Texas straight bourbon whiskey. And I hope to see you on the whiskey trail. Y'all take care.